In this video, we'll be checking out our top 5 modded Rexes from Ark Survival Ascended. These shall all be custom and original modded creatures available on the CurseForge platform. And if you'd like to see more of these top 5 videos, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow the channel. Starting off at number 5, we have the DodoRexys by Brutal Meta 183. The DodoRexys are a miniature and tameable version of the infamous DodoRex from the Evolved. The DodoRexys can be found amongst Rexes in the mountain spawns or on Kano Island, and they are a simple carnivorous knockout tame with their saddles being unlocked at level 84. While the classic vanilla Rex is a sturdy damage dealer with moderate health, the DodoRexys compete by being a glass cannon. They have lower health but very high damage and a massive AoE fire breath attack. Their physical body size is also smaller than that of the regular Rex, but their hitbox is deceivingly smaller yet, allowing the DodoRexy to actually fit and traverse into most island caves. Due to it being a mechanically smaller creature but with greater damage than a vanilla Rex, in addition to its great fire-breathing attack, this does make the DodoRexy a surprisingly powerful caving creature. There does also exist an abnormal variant which can spawn in Arctic zones, and when tamed, these dogs will have even stronger melee, although even less health. Alpha DodoRexys can also be found, and when fought, they will drop high-quality saddles for your tamed DodoRexys. So altogether, this terrifying turkey is small but packs a mean punch, and offers you a Tyrannosaurus alternative to the caving experience. Next up at number 4, we have the Gargant Tyrannosaurus by Pat1419. The Gargant Tyrannosaurus is, as fitting the name, a gargantuan Tyrannosaurus, seen to be bigger and beefier than that of the vanilla one. Wild Gargants can be found spawning in the mountains and are particularly common in extinction. They are a standard knockout tame, preferring a carnivorous diet and exceptional kibble, and their saddles are knockable at level 92. The Gargant Tyrannosaurus differs to the regular vanilla one by being both bigger, beefier, and having an array of powerful attacks, ranging from regular bites to the ability to pick up small creatures and devour them whole, giving the Gargant a healing buff, as well as stomping and dealing large AoE damage. However, the Gargant also sports a rage mechanic, similar to that of the Giga, although much harder to trigger. Once the Gargant's rage meter reaches 50%, it will unlock the ability to do a large spin attack, followed by a self-buffing roar which will increase all damage dealt by the Gargant. And then, once the rage meter reaches 100% capacity, it will then unlock the ability for an even greater AoE stomp, dealing devastating damage, expending all of the rage, and in conjunction with that self-buffing roar earlier, means that it's likely to kill pretty much everything nearby. So while the Gargant isn't as easy to enrage as, say, the Giga, doing so requires much greater effort but for a massive damaging reward. In addition to the Gargant's powerful attacks and the ability to self-buff via its enrage, the Gargant is also capable of embracing permanent buffs from the island Alpha Apex trophies. Embracing the power of the Alpha Broodmother trophy will cause the Gargant's basic melee attacks to deal piercing damage, and its ultimate attack will release a poisonous gas. When embracing the Alpha Megapithecus trophy, it increases the standard bite damage permanently, and its ult attack will also insta-kill all enemies at a low HP. And thus, once embracing the Alpha Dragon trophy, this will permanently reduce all damage taken to the Gargant, and its ultimate attack will also burn enemies as well. Once your Gargant Tyrannosaurus has embraced all 3 trophies, it will permanently change its appearance, causing your Rex to be covered in armor, spikes, looking cooler, meaner, and giving you ultimate bragging rights. Coming up at number 3, we have the Laelaps from Retrosauria Assemblage by IceCrooked553. Laelaps is a fun and unique Retrosaur-inspired Tyrannosaurus, which is a standard carnivorous knockout, favouring extraordinary kibble with a saddle unlockable at level 73. Wild Laelaps can be found spawning anywhere where you might find wild Rexes, and occasionally even in the locations of wild Carnos. The overall visual design and functionality of Laelaps pays homage to the old, vintage interpretations of Tyrannosaurus Rex back in the early 1900s. The concept is fun and unique, really adding into that Tyrannosaurus flavour, and also plays a pivotal part in the functionality of this mod. Laelaps has versatile attacks and great mobility, with an insane jump and 0 fall damage, referring back to many old-school picture movies which depicts T-Rexes with crazy jumping capabilities. Laelaps here also performs a role as an anti-carnivore, where being in the presence of other apex carnivores, including tamed ones, will buff its own damage and grant it a rivalry buff similar to that of the Triceratops. In addition, its roar can also allow it to detect nearby creatures, players, explorer nodes, and even read creature health. In the wild, there is also a rare chance for a vintage Laelaps to spawn. This is the powerful alpha variant which, when killed, will yield you the cosmetic reward, which will allow you to place a costume on your own Laelaps and change your overall view of the world into that of an old school black and white film. And thus, everything altogether makes Laelaps into an original and unique modded creature and a wonderful tribute to the earliest interpretations of Tyrannosaurus Rex. Coming up next at number 2, we have the ARKOLOGY Desolatitan by Dragonheart7998. The Desolatitan is a gargantuan mutated tyrannosaur that shares spawns with gigas and kurgs and can be found in the Badlands of Scorched Earth. Desolatitan is exceptionally challenging to tame, for this constantly angry Rex sports its own enrage mechanic, to which, while very powerful and should be avoided at all costs, after the enrage is over, the Desolatitan will collapse in an exhausted state, and this will allow you a window to passive tame it some kibble. And thus you must rinse and repeat the process of constantly annoying it, enraging it, waiting for it to tire out and feeding it, all the while it will not gain healing from any of your feeds, meaning you also have to rely on external sources to try and heal the Desola while you are taming it. And if you are able to prove yourself worthy of gaining a Desolatitan, you can't unlock the basic saddle until level 105. However, the challenge of taming a Desolatitan is worth it, for it sports vastly more total health than both the Giga and the Kurk, as well as massive damage output with high scaling and its own berserk mechanic. Although, the terror doesn't end there, as there are 4 different variants of boss Desolititans to challenge survivors and dare them to defeat this terrifying creature. Though not without reward, as the highest difficulties of the Primal Desolatitan will yield you various trophies, flags, an incredible and high quality bone saddle, and the ultimate bragging rights. Desolatitan is altogether a huge, badass mutated Tyrannosaurus which rivals that of Giga and Karka and provides a high difficulty challenge worthy of any tempted survivors. Before we check out the next modded Rex, we wanted to give a quick honourable mention to the Moro Rex from Moro's Indomitable duo by Moronada. We're giving this one the honourable mention because 1, the Moro Rex is technically a hybrid, but mainly 2, it is undergoing a TLC. Thus, we wanted to take this opportunity to feature a more lesser known modded Rex, but it doesn't change the fact that the Moro Rex is an old and very popular mod. And thus, coming up at number 1 of this list, we have the Evo Tyrannosaurus from Paleo Evolution Apex Predators by the Paleo team. The Evo Tyrannosaurus acts as a Wildcard-esque TLC replacement for all Rexes in the game. You can find Evo Rexes anywhere where you can find regular Rexes, and that includes special variants such as Corrupted, Tech, and even those Untamable and found in caves. The Evo Rex DLC introduces not just a new model and animations, but also a new taming strategy befitting the king of all dinos, where, as opposed to aggressively knocking out the Rex, instead you must earn its respect and companionship by giving it treats, respecting its distance, earning its trust, until you can mount it and work with it to kill various creatures, proving yourselves as an iconic duo. Evo Tyrannosaurus also sports a variety of brand new attacks, which grants it overall greater mobility, both in terms of typical movement, especially with varying terrain, but also its attacking abilities allow it to engage with anything within a 360 radius of the Rex. So no more getting stuck and pushed into a wall if something's attacking behind you, as you can now tail whip, stomp, or simply turn around and bite the pest directly. Evo Tyrannosaurus also comes in many different variants. This full-on TLC introduces the more obvious variants such as an Alpha Rex, a Tech Rex, Corrupted Rexes, but also some special custom additions such as the Fluffy Paleo Rex, the Desert-dwelling Tarbosaurus, and in the form of special and rare cosmetics you can even have access to some Fear Evolved themed skeletal Rexes. What also really makes the Evo Rex stand out in compared to the other creatures in this list is the ability to fully convert vanilla Rexes into the Evo Rex and vice versa. This means that if you already have an army of bred vanilla Rexes, whether mutated or colours or what have you, you will not lose any progress because you can dynamically convert your vanilla Rexes to an Evo Tyrannosaurus and keep all the stats, mutations, colours and more. While every dino on this list has, in one form or another, a unique take on the classic Tyrannosaurus, it's fair to say that the Evo Tyrannosaurus truly embraces what is a Rex in Ark. It capitalizes on the existing idea without having to reinvent it, and it does so in such a way that conforms to the meta and adds a whole bunch of flavor and pays homage to one of the most iconic creatures in all of paleontology. And that's why we had to give the Evo Tyrannosaurus the number 1 spot in this list. And that is our top 5 modded Rexes from Ark Survival Ascended. What do you think of this list? Is there anything you'd add to it? Or perhaps we've missed out on any mods available on the CurseForge platform? Please feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these, like and subscribe for more Ark Ascended mods videos, and keep an eye out for future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.